Is there a social trend that you're following closely right now?
I think longevity and health are about ready to lift off beyond what we can think. The mastery of the genetic code, the understanding of health, the understanding of you are what you eat, the understanding of good exercise. I think healthy living is a positive trend. I think the growing understanding of the ability to use technology to solve problems and not just look at it as a cause of problems. I think there is, like, for example, I think what AI, I'm obviously looking at AI, but that's not a social trend. But I think AI will liberate humans from a lot of what we think of as unfortunate or drudge work.
There are terms that I have just become familiar with recently: longevity escape velocity, treating aging as a disease, aging in a pill, or curing aging with a pill. What are your thoughts on these types of things?
Ray Kurzweil, said 15 years ago, if you can live to 2025, you'll be able to live forever. Well, he's not right on the timing, right? But he's directionally right. But the real issue is no one has ever lived past 125. So genetically, do we break down at 125, or will science solve that? So I think what's going to happen is the average age is going to go up. So the average collective age at birth now is, in America, is 82 or something, and by 2030, it will be 90 or something. But will it get past 125? I don't think we'll be able to live forever, but I think we'll be able to live longer.
What is the technology that you're following closely?
Well, technological intelligence. I'm not following it closely in the sense that I wade in, I've read all the books, not all the books, just an infinite amount, but I've read the right books, the early books. And I think the problem with what I'm looking for with artificial intelligence, which I call technological intelligence, so I'm going to refer to it as TI. The problem with TI is that humans have already created what humans do. We've created the other. In other words, what are we scared of? What are we scared of with AI? Are we scared that it's going to create a war in the Middle East? How about a war in the Ukraine? How about creating wealth inequality? How about creating starvation? No, we're humans. We're good at that. So what are we scared about? Oh, it could get rid of jobs. It could upset us. It could take us over. Okay. How do you think the giraffe feels? How do you think the dog feels? The dog's not going to eat unless you feed it, right? So I guess what I'm saying is, I think that technological intelligence is the evolutionary and economic future of humanity, but not if we're scared of it. We have to regulate it based on human use, but again, you're an optimist, and I'm an optimist. It's the greatest potential. This century is going to be known as the century of intelligence.
Let me ask you this question, because I've heard you compare it to electricity, or it's as big a technological innovation as electricity. And electricity, it wasn't ubiquitous. So where are we in that timeline? Because I had a guest recently tell me that the first electricity was just light bulbs hanging from the center of the ceiling. And then people started to create appliances, and they had to plug the appliance into the light bulb holder to get the electricity. There were no outlets. And I was like, oh, wow, is that where we are with technological intelligence or artificial intelligence? Are we at the advent of the outlet? And then we know electricity exploded. So where are we in terms of this timeline?
Think about when electricity was invented. When it was invented, it had a profound significance that was immediately realized. In other words, it prolongs the day. It brings light to dark. that was such a profound concept that they didn't see what it would lead to, because there wasn't anything that was electric. There wasn't the elevators. There wasn't the flat screen TVs. There wasn't the microwaves. There wasn't the telephone. There wasn't the telegraph. There wasn't anything, right? So to compare AI to electricity, where we are with ChatGPT, the way I've said it, is not the plug analogy, but the toe in the ocean. In other words, the huge possibilities of AI that we've all seen with ChatGPT, or the current ones in the market, is like the flickering light bulb to the microwave oven.
The reason why I like to talk about the timeline is to help people understand they're going to have a very difficult time imagining how transformative AI really is. And one guest mentioned that, pre-1850s, everything that was done on Earth was done with muscle power or animal power. And then the steam engine comes in, and then electricity comes in. And now we have, oh my gosh, we have mechanical power. And he said, now we're going to have mechanical intelligence or technical intelligence, or however you want to say it. And, when you had muscle power through electricity or through the steam engine.
That's really cool. That's a cool way to think about it.
Yeah. And so now you have muscle power is far less valuable by the end of the 19th century.
Yeah, but so think about it this way, loose relative terms. A horse represents the power of 10 humans. A steam engine represents the power of 10 horses. A computer connected farm thing is representative of 10 steam engines, or whatever it is. But that's the physical muscle power. Think about AI as being the thought side of that. That's why it's so brilliant, right? It's like, in other words, I don't need. There's no need for physical labor to lay railroad tracks. Machines do it, right? There's nothing except ahead of us about increasing our intelligence, right? So the whole intelligence side of humanity is about ready to launch as to where it was before the Industrial Revolution.